You and McGee, y'all got a podcast. It's kind of turned into a little bit more than that.
Oh, it's a TV. Yeah, I mean, it's a full-blown TV show now.
And so, is that thing just is that project just you're just letting it go and be and become? Do you have like a vision for it? Do you and him talk about that?
I'll tell you, that show's interesting because, first of all, the way it was born, the show is not the content as much, the sports content. The show is the chemistry.
Yeah.
The show is the friendship, and that's the ultimate dream.
Mm-hmm.
And so no matter what's going on in the world of sports or entertainment, he and I have a blast, and we spent 2 or 3 segments of our show last weekend discussing that We Are the World Netflix documentary. You watch that yet?
Not yet.
Dude, you have to. It's amazing.
Me and Amy so I sat and watched the Netflix show again with Amy, and we got done with that last night, and that came on to like preview, like give us a little trailer of that, and I'm like, damn, that actually looks good. It's like I didn't know all that was going on,
Wait
all
till
the
you
trials
see it.
and troubles and difficulties of doing it.
The insecurities of the biggest rock stars in the world, all in the same energy in the same space.
Yeah.
Super fascinating.
Right.
You'll love it. But
check it out.
But again, ESPN has afforded us the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
They've given us this platform that we can't believe and that we honor very much and respect very much. And what people say to us, we are throughout the Southeastern Conference all the time, and so many people come up to us.
I know.
Grateful that there's something that sounds like them, and it's so relatable to them,
mm-hmm.
and that just means the world to us, because if I'm being honest with you, Dale, we ain't trying, brother.
Yeah.
We don't spend a ton of time preparing. We just do and be, and we have great aspirations for it, but you'll find this interesting. And we've talked about this on our show, so I don't think I'm speaking out of school with him. I called him about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, I guess. And it was probably towards the end of last summer. And I said, hey, I need to have a conversation with you. I don't want to get into a place where we end up competing with one another. And I don't want to get into a place where you achieve something and I'm jealous because of your achievements, or I achieve something and you're jealous because of my achievements. We have to be each other's biggest champions genuinely, and we have to be unified in that, because I don't want to be one of these bands or these duos or whatnot that spend 20 years on stage together and the only time they talk is on stage. And they really don't like each other as individuals because jealousy creeps in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be honest with you, I think that was a very important conversation, because it's just now, because I told him, I sense that I've done something that's annoying you.
Oh.
I sense that something I'm doing has changed your energy,
mm-hmm.
and I can't have that.
What did he say?
Well, he didn't disagree. But ultimately, he was very appreciative that I just took the initiative to say it.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit like a marriage.
Yeah. So McGee wrote my book, Racing to the Finish, and I knew him, but I got to really know him during that experience. And so to see you and him become what you have is in terms of your show, but also that friendship that you can see is very apparent when you guys are on camera together. I'm not surprised, I guess, by the success of the show and how it's gained in popularity, but I can't wait to see where it goes, because I don't know that any of us really could have a vision for what it could become, right? And if it's handled if it's given the right opportunities, right, to be more, I think it could be something pretty important.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how often do you record that?
Once a week.
Once a week. And so
it's live. It's
where do you record it?
during football season, we go on the road to different campuses. And so it's live for an hour. It's an hour-long show during the fall on SEC campuses.
Yep.
And then when it's not football season, it's a 3-hour-long live show in South Charlotte down here. There's a studio, ESPN studio, and they built us this elaborate log cabin looking studio that is badass, and we love it. We call it the Wilderness Lodge.
Yep.
And so we just sit in there and do that.
Yep. And so my thoughts on it is so it's live on ESPN.
Yes.
What day of the week?
Saturday morning, 7 to 10 Eastern.
Would you ever entertain it being like a daily show?
Yes, but it would be a substantial lifestyle change for both of us.
Right.
And so that would require...
You'd have to give up something.
Yeah, that would require
take on that.
Quite a bit of strategy and planning on our part because, again, he's just like me. I mean, he's going to a different feature and, he's on airplanes and everything. But, I think we would definitely entertain that. And it wouldn't surprise me if somewhere down the line that is broached.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the next thing for that is that it becomes this sort of daily piece of content for ESPN. You like that?
Yeah. I mean, it would be a hell of a change.
Yeah. The only thing is like that would be a cool existence, but again, like, does it steer you away from like that opportunity to end up being a play-by-play guy or whatever is next for you in your traveling sort of gig? That's the tough part, man, is like we are getting to those points in our lives where you no longer just keep taking the next opportunity. You have to say what fits.
Yep.
And then what has to go, And sometimes, man, you're like, am I making the right call? Am I making a freaking mistake? I definitely want to prioritize my family, but am I jeopardizing their experiences by, taking things off the table?
I think, too, it's also a scenario where there's a lot of opportunity away from because of either Marty McGee or our ESPN platforms that we get opportunity elsewhere too. And those can be lucrative opportunities.
Yeah.
And you only have, like, your earning potential window is only so wide.
Oh, yeah.
And so you have to also be very strategic about that where it's like, all right, I'm going to go jump on this airplane. I'm going to fly to this corporate speech. I'm going to do this motivational speech. But I'm not going to be able to get my girls from school that day or whatnot. Sure. And so, you really are, you're juggling that.
You do speaking gigs.
A lot of them. Love it. Did one yesterday.
Where?
I did one in Raleigh yesterday for Prevo.
Okay. What do you tell people?
I tell them a lot. And
are you a keynote speaker?
I'm a keynote speaker.
I'm sure you are, yeah. I can't do that. I have to have somebody.
Yes, you can.
I don't want to do that. I have to have somebody there like to talk to. I like having sit down and talk.
I very much enjoy the opportunity to try to inspire people. And again, I almost feel like it's a calling right now for me. I wrote a book that came out in late August, 1st of September, called Sideline CEO, where I interviewed 20 championship individuals. Joe Gibbs is in the book. Christian Horner from Red Bull Formula One is in the book. Saban, Dabo Sweeney, Mac Brown, Roy Williams, John Calipari, Tom Izzo, Doc Rivers, on and on. It's like 55 championships in those pages about leadership and these pillars and principles that really make up the broad scope sphere of what leadership really is. And leadership is not power. Leadership is influence. Can you influence the employees at Junior Motorsports to demand of self, to go be best self every single day, and have you built the culture along with Kelly that they want to come to work, that they want to make sure that they're not and moaning and grumbling among each other, and if they start, somebody in that culture goes, we don't talk like that. We don't do that around here. We win.
Yeah.
And so I have taken the tutelage that's in the pages of that book. I have put together speeches that are tailored toward whomever I'm speaking. Yeah. And it's really worked. Like Jimmy Johnson called me from London about 2 months ago, and he had listened to the audiobook.
Yep.
And he goes, "Hey, man, I need your help. I need you to come speak to my entire organization because we're trying to build a culture here at Legacy Motor Club, and holy shit, man, you got me fired up." And I said, sure. And I went down there and I did the speech to them, and I got the nicest text ever from Matt Kenseth. Matt, of course, is an executive there now, and he sent me the nicest text, and he said, "I've seen 1 million corporate speeches and motivational speeches. That's one of the top 3 I've ever seen." So that meant a lot to me that Matt said that.
Yeah.